So today I'm going to talk about some of the little factors that I'm trying to implement now in 2021 that I was not implementing at the end or at all in 2020. So what are some of those things that I'm doing to try and maintain my own health and seek my own personal elite status? And maybe you guys can take something away from this. How's it going, runners? My name is Justin Thompson. I'm your average running PT, and I help the average runner achieve their own personal elite status. If that's something you guys are into, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you know when the next video comes out. So some of the things that I want to implement in 2020 that I did not implement in 2021 are those little things that are included in like the warm-up and the cool-down. And what I'm really talking about here is certain functional movements and certain strength components as well as foam rolling. So there's a few things that I can do at the end, specifically at the end. I wake up in the morning and I start my slow jog, and that's my warm-up getting into a run, except for the harder workouts I do a more structured warm-up. But at the end of a workout, what am I doing that is actually going to help me to recover better and get stronger and move into the next workout the next day ready and prepared to take that on? So some of the things that I'm talking about are going to be squat variations, and I'll put that, I'll kind of overlay that here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about straight ahead squatting. I'm talking about different squat variations where my knees are going in different directions, where my feet are turning inward or outward, or I'm on my toes, or I'm sitting back on my heels, or it's like I'm sitting back in a chair, or my knees may go way over my toes. And the reason that I want to do a lot of variability with these squat variations is because I want to be able to have good enough strength in my legs, in my knees, and my calves, and my quads and hips that I can sustain any force that is thrown at me over the course of a run. But also, when I talk about seeking my own personal elite status, I'm not just talking about running. I'm also talking about what are the things that I need to be able to do in my daily life. So for me as a physical therapist, I'm fairly active just during the day, and I need to be able to get up and move and squat and lunge and get up and down off of the floor effectively and without pain. And if I don't ever work on those things, especially right after a run, whenever everything's all warmed up and everything, that's the best time to do it. So if I don't ever do that, then I'm just going to be a real stiff and painful physical therapist telling people to do things that I don't do myself. So that I do not want to be. So seeking my own personal elite status means I am also doing those little things to help myself be a better overall person and just a better overall agile person or athletic person even in daily life. So squatting variations really, really important for me. Secondly, what I'm trying to implement, and we'll see how long this goes, is going to be doing a certain number of push-ups at the end of every run. So I mentioned in my previous video that I actually lost about 10 pounds over the course of 2020. I went from 175 pounds down to 165. And while this may seem like a good thing for runners, for myself and seeking my own personal elite, I feel like anytime I am above 170, anywhere between that 170 and 175, that's when I am feeling my best. And that's when I feel like I look the healthiest too. And maybe that's a vanity thing. I know for my wife, she wants me to look in a certain way. But I also want to look a certain way for the patients that I treat in my daily life. So not only do I treat runners who would understand if I was looking really thin and didn't have a lot of muscle up top, but I also work with other athletes, and I also work with other patient populations who I want to portray a sense of strength, not just in my legs because I'm wearing pants all day. They're not going to see that really. But I will be wearing short sleeve shirts, and I will be, presenting myself in a way that I want to have a certain amount of muscle mass that portrays a sense of strength and shows them that I am healthy, that I have this vitality to me, that maybe I haven't been showing over the last few months because I have lost some of that muscle mass in my upper body. So when I say I want to do a certain number of push-ups, I'm talking about for every mile that I do on a run, when I get back and start to do my cool down, I want to do 10 push-ups. So for every mile, 10 push-ups. So today I did 3 miles, 3.5, and I will round down on this just because I know I won't want to round up. But I did 3.5 miles, so today I did 30 push-ups. So, and then we'll see how this goes as I get into the 8, 10, 12 mile run range. That might get a little tougher because I'll be really tired from the run, and then I'll still have all these push-ups to do. We'll see if I cap that at like 50 or 60 or something like that. So we'll see. So that's something that, for me, seeking my own personal elite is something that I want to be able to do. Third is foam rolling. Now, as a physical therapist, I ask people to do this all the time to treat injuries. I need to ask myself to do it to prehab and make sure that I don't get certain injuries. So my calves are prone to injuries at times. So I need to make sure that I am prehabbing and kind of making sure that my muscles are supple, are pliable, and pliable is a word that I'm going to talk about probably in my next video. It's a buzzword put out there by a very well-known athlete, known all around the world. One of the greatest athletes of all time is this word pliability. So that's something that I want to incorporate into my training, and usually it doesn't take very long to do a foam rolling session, especially if I'm just working on my calves or just working on my quads. I think those are my two areas that really have a tendency to get stiff and painful. So foam rolling is something that I really, really want to start to incorporate into my training because I'm telling people to do it all the time, and I'm not doing it myself, so I don't want to be a hypocrite. So let's go ahead and start doing this stuff so that I can seek my own elite, and that is specifically for me to be able to run faster. I want my muscles to be in better shape, better flexibility, pliability, mobility, extensibility, whatever the term is that you want to use. I want it to be ready to take on the forces that running is going to throw at it. So those are some of the small things that I'm going to be doing to help with seeking my own personal elite status, and I hope that you guys can take something away from this. Tell me in the comments below, what are some of the things that you guys are doing to those little things? What are the little things that you find that you need to do in order to give yourself that extra little edge to bump up into your own personal elite status? All right, so that's all for today, guys. Head on out there, seek your elite. God bless, and I will see you next time.